What if you could walk into every sales conversation with confidence, knowing exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to handle anything a customer throws your way? What if you could turn objections into opportunities and setbacks into comebacks every single day? See, you don't have to be born with the gift of gab. You don't have to memorize 100 scripts or fake your way through tough situations. You don't have to dread objections or difficult conversations ever again. Today, you will discover how daily role play sharpens your skills, how to handle objections with confidence, and which words to use or even avoid to build trust and close more deals. So let's make you a resilient and unstoppable communicator. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your training. That line hits hard, and it's the absolute truth in this business. Roleplay isn't just practice, it's your insurance policy for when the pressure's on. Think about it. Every top performer I know makes time for roleplay every single day. Why? Because when you're in front of a real customer, facing a tough objection, or trying to close the deal, you don't want to be scrambling for the right words or second guessing your tone. You want your response, your confidence, and your body language to be automatic, second nature. The only way you get there is by training under pressure before you ever step into the real thing. Here's how I use roleplay and how you can start using it today. Pick a real scenario. Don't just go through the motions. Grab a tough objection you keep hearing, a new product you're pitching, or a first-time buyer scenario. Make it real. Make it relevant. Partner up or use a mirror. I know it feels awkward at first, but it works. If you've got a teammate, even better, because iron sharpens iron. If not, talk to yourself in the mirror, or even to a teddy bear. The point is to actually say the words out loud, not just run through them in your head. Now go through the conversation out loud. Don't just think it, say it. Practice your opening, your questions, your closes. Get comfortable hearing your own voice, and don't be afraid to stumble a little at first. Focus on your tone, your body language, and your pauses, not just your words. Are you making eye contact? Are you projecting confidence? Are you letting the silence work for you, or are you rushing to fill it? All those little things matter just as much as the script itself. Practice the way you want to perform. If you want to be confident under pressure, you must train under pressure. That means you can't just wing it and hope for the best. You've got to put yourself in the fire. So when the real thing happens, you're ready. So set a timer for 10 minutes every day. Make it non-negotiable. Treat it like your most important appointment. The more you role play, the more natural you'll sound and the more resilient you'll become when the heat is on. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your training. So make your training count and watch how much more confident and effective you become no matter what gets thrown your way. What's your biggest challenge with role play? Hey guys, I know a lot of you have been wanting to get to the next level. What I want you to do right now is text me. This is my personal cell. All you have to do is text me who you are and what you need help with to get to the next level. So go ahead, text me right now, 205-952-6224, and I will help you crush it. As well, I got a bonus for you. Scan this QR code and get into our free community and unlock some courses for you as well. Let's crush it together and let's get back to the video. All right, let's move into objections, the moment most salespeople dread. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Objections aren't roadblocks. They're invitations to build trust and show value. When a customer throws up an objection, they're not trying to shut you down. They're giving you a window into what really matters to them. That's your opportunity to step up and not shrink back. Let's break down the last method from the playbook, the exact approach I use every day. First, just listen. Don't jump in, don't cut them off, don't start formulating your answer before they're done. Let the customer finish. Most people just want to feel heard. And if you really listen, you'll pick up on what's beneath the surface. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's budget. Maybe it's something they're not saying out loud. Next, we're going to acknowledge what they've said. Use phrases like, I hear you, or that makes sense. Don't brush it off or get defensive. When you acknowledge their concern, you build trust. You're telling them, you matter, and I get where you're coming from. Now, get to the heart of the issue. Don't just slap a quick answer on the surface problem. Dig deeper. Ask questions if you need to. Is it really about price, or is it about value? Is it about timing, or is it about uncertainty? Address the real concern and offer a solution that fits their needs. Finally, move confidently to the next step. Don't just leave it hanging. Say something like, does that answer your question? Or, if we can handle that, are you ready to move forward today? This keeps the momentum going and shows you're in control of the process. Objections are your chance to shine. When you use the last method, listen, acknowledge, solve, and transition, you're not just handling the objection, you're building a relationship and showing the client you're someone they can trust. So next time you get an objection, lean in. Listen all the way. Acknowledge honestly. Solve what really matters and transition it with confidence. That's how you turn a maybe into a yes and a skeptic into a raving fan. Now let me give you a real world example because this is where the rubber meets the road. Let's say a customer tells you, I need to talk to my spouse. Now the old school response is to push harder, try to close right then, maybe even make them feel a little guilty for not deciding on the spot. But that's not how we do things here. The domination response, the exact way I handle it and the way I teach my team to do it as well, is to lean in and validate. I'll say things like, absolutely, I'd want my spouse involved too. What questions can I answer for them to make this easy? Right there, you're showing respect. You're aligning with their values and you're making it easier for them to move forward. You're not just selling a car, you're building trust. Or maybe they hit you with, I'm just looking. Now, a lot of salespeople get defensive or try to force the conversation. But I flip the script. I'll say, I love that. Most of my best clients started out just looking. What caught your eye today? That response shifts the whole energy. You're lowering their resistance, you're inviting them to share, and you're keeping the door wide open for a real conversation. Never argue with an objection. Validate, then pivot to value. That's the move. You acknowledge where they're at. You show them you're on their side, and then you gently guide the conversation back to how you can help them. And always remember, objections aren't a bad thing. They're a sign the customer is engaged. They're thinking. They haven't walked away. They're giving you a chance to build trust and show value. If you handle objections with empathy, curiosity, and confidence, you turn skeptics into buyers and browsers into raving fans. So next time you hear an objection, don't see it as a wall. See it as a door. Validate, pivot to value, and keep the conversation moving forward. That's how you win in the real world. So which objection do you face most often? Let's talk about something most people overlook when it comes to sales mastery, your language. I'm not just talking about having a slick script or memorizing the latest closing lines. I mean the actual words you choose, especially in those tense, high-pressure moments. They can make or break trust, momentum, and even the entire outcome of your deal. Every word is either building a bridge or a wall. Legendary salespeople are intentional with their language, especially when it matters most. Think about that for a second. In a tough conversation, are your words pulling your client closer, building a connection, and making them feel understood? Or are you accidentally putting up barriers, making them defensive, or shutting the door? Legendary salespeople don't just talk. They choose their words on purpose. So start paying attention to your words. Are you building bridges or building walls? Are you inviting your client into the conversation or shutting it down? The best in the business are intentional with every phrase, every question, and every response, especially when it matters most. That's how you move from average to legendary. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. It's why you say it. Make your language your secret weapon and watch how your results and your relationships transform. So, when you're in a tense sales moment, which language habit do you catch yourself using most often? Now, here are some practical language swaps you can start using right now because the words you choose matter, especially when the pressure is on. Instead of, I understand how you feel, say, I get where you're coming from. Why? Because I get where you're coming from just feels more genuine. It shows you're actually listening, not just repeating some canned line. It's about being present in the conversation and meeting your client where they are. Instead of, is there anything I can do to get you to buy today? Do this. What would make this the right decision for you today? Did you notice the difference? You're not pushing, you're partnering. You're inviting them to clarify what they need, not just trying to close for your sake. Instead of sign here, go with okay or approve here. Now, this is a simple shift, but it's less transactional and more collaborative. Approve feels like you're working together. Sign can feel like a demand. Instead of discount, use savings. Nobody wants to feel like they're getting something cheap. They want to feel smart, like they're saving money and making a good decision. Instead of payment, say investment. Investment frames the purchase as something that pays off for them, not just another bill. It's about value, about the future, about what they're gaining. Here's a subtle one, but powerful one. Swap but for and. For example, I hear you, and here's what we can do. But can shut a conversation down. It erases everything that came before it and keeps the conversation moving forward, keeps the energy positive, and shows you're on their side. Instead of, what do you think? Ask, which works best for you? That's a gentle nudge toward a decision, not just an opinion. You're guiding them to the next step, not leaving them hanging. Replace can't and buy with flexible and own. Say, we're flexible on terms. Or, here's how you can own this vehicle today. See, buy, it's transactional. Own is all about identity, pride, and making the client feel like this is theirs. Remember what it says in the playbook. Your words are your tools. Choose them with care, and you'll build trust, confidence, and legendary results. Start making these swaps and pay attention to how your clients respond. You'll see the resistance drop, the conversations get smoother, and the trust build faster. That's how you move from average to legendary, one intentional word at a time. So which language swap are you most excited to use in your next conversation? So remember, these aren't just word games or clever little tricks to get someone to say yes. The language you use is a direct signal of your mindset. When you choose words that focus on partnership, value, and confidence, your client will feel it too. They know you're in their corner. They know you're not just pushing for a sale, you're guiding them toward a decision that's right for them. Every phrase you choose is a chance to build trust. When you say, I get where you're coming from, you're proving you're actually listening. When you ask, what would make this the right decision for you today? You're showing you care about their needs, not just your numbers. When you talk about investment instead of payment, You're elevating the conversation and helping them see the long-term value. That's what legendary salespeople do. They use every word as a tool to move the relationship forward. So pay attention to your language. Every conversation, every objection, every tense moment is a new opportunity to build trust, create connection, and show your client you're the real deal. Your words are a reflection of your mindset. Make them count. Every phrase is a chance to build a bridge, move the deal forward, and set yourself apart as someone who truly serves. So keep choosing your language with intention and watch what happens to your results. So here's your challenge, and I want you to take this seriously if you're ready to level up. Make roleplay a daily habit. Don't just squeeze it in when you have extra time. Block it off. Make it non-negotiable. And treat it like a meeting with your future success. The more you practice, the smoother and more confident you'll sound when it counts. Handle objections with confidence, not fear. When you hear an objection, don't flinch or get defensive. Lean in. See it as your chance to build trust, show value, and prove you're a true professional. Remember, objections aren't the end. They're the beginning of a real conversation. And choose your words like they matter, because they absolutely do. Every phrase, every question, every response is a chance to build a bridge, lower resistance, and move the relationship forward. Legendary salespeople don't leave their language to chance. They use it with intention every single time. Now, you don't have to be perfect. Let that sink in. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to practice, prepare, and keep showing up. Progress beats perfection every day of the week. The more you train, the more natural it becomes. And the more resilient, resourceful, and unstoppable you'll be when the pressure is on. So what's one thing you'll change in your next conversation? Is it your language, your objection handling, your willingness to role play, or just showing up with a little more confidence? So let's get after it. Let's build your skills, your confidence, and your results, one conversation at a time. You're not just selling, you're building trust, creating value, and setting yourself apart as a true professional. Now go out there and make every conversation count.